How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about Junji Ito Maniac. This is Season 1, Episode 6, and this one's entitled Mold and Library Vision. This is, of course, based on the classic manga by Junji Ito. And overall, if you guys have been listening to my reviews, I said that Episode 5, the last episode, wasn't the best, and it felt something like Junji Ito Collection more than it did Junji Ito Maniac. And going into this episode, I was a little worried that we'd get a quality drop in the series overall, and I really didn't want that because Library Vision was one of my favorite Junji Ito stories. And I am super relieved to say that we got back up to good quality again with this one. This one's actually a really good episode, and probably one of my favorite episodes so far. Definitely recommended. Both the stories in here are really good, and they're also both really atmospheric, moody horror stories. And I definitely recommend this episode. Definitely one of the better ones. Mold, again, moody, atmospheric, really good concept behind it, and also pretty gross with all this mold. But also, I should mention, this one is in black and white. Now, people have always been saying that they want Junji Ito stuff in black and white because that's how the comics are, and that's how they feel his story should be. And I've always said, Junji Ito being in black and white is more a case of form following function, because most Japanese comics are in black and white, and that's just in turn the way things go. And I've also pointed out that Junji Ito has done color stuff before, in particular with covers. If you guys want to see some of his color stuff, I definitely recommend checking out the art book, Junji Ito Twisted Visions. Really good stuff. Oversized printing, and we don't see a lot of it in the States, you know, especially if it's like promotional material he did. Definitely go check out the Junji Ito art book. But all that being said, why I don't think Junji Ito has to be in black and white, for the people who wanted to see black and white Junji Ito, you're probably really vindicated with this episode, because yeah, I can't deny, it does look pretty cool. And also the trailer for the Uzumaki show, which is in black and white, if the show ever comes out, does look cool as well. So even though I don't think Junji Ito has to be in black and white, it does look cool. Okay, you guys are right. So yeah, a good black and white episode. But also, Library Vision, a personal favorite Junji Ito story of mine. If you guys see all these DVDs behind me on the shelf, I set up a shop here because I primarily talk about movies on this channel, but rest assured there is shelves like this that also have books on them. I have quite the book collection, including all of Junji Ito's stuff, which, not gonna lie, looks super great on a shelf. These big thick books are really nice. So if you guys like books, Library Vision is such a great episode for those of you who are into book culture. You get collecting and obsession and leading to madness there. And I do want to mention the title of this series is Junji Ito Maniac. This is probably the story that encompasses the series title the best. Overall, really fun, really creepy, really dark, and moody, and both of these stories work really well together because they're both super atmospheric. And I do want to say, the second one is not in black and white, so don't expect that, but it does have really nice coloring. Creepy dark library, lit by candlelight, with those wood colors in it. Some nice oranges. If you guys are really into, you know, how YouTube will have those, you know, cool library videos with the jazz music going on over it. If you guys like that, some good library shots in here. But anyway, without further ado, let's talk about the stories individually. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but I do want to take a moment, analyze the plot, and talk about things that I liked about it. Anyway, Mold. Sadly, I don't think Mold ever got officially released over here. I think I heard it was part of a collection that was named after Slug Girl, which I don't think Slug Girl came out officially over here yet either, so hopefully we'll get the Slug Girl collection coming up soon. So yeah, not officially released in the States, but I do want to say Viz is working on rectifying this problem. For a long time, we hardly had any Junji Ito stuff, and now Viz is cranking out like 2 or 3 books a year, and while I don't see Slug Girl on their slate currently, it's Tombs and then Soichi that are coming up, but hopefully after that, I mean, it is a collection we desperately need. But anyway, haven't been able to read the source material for this yet, but after watching this episode, I definitely want to. We get this guy who had been away from his house for a year. It was his nice new house. He had to go away for a year, and in turn he rented it to someone. And he says he feels gross coming back, knowing that someone else has been living in his nice new house this whole time. And that's before he opens the door. When he opens the door, it is a big, gross mystery of what the heck happened here. There's trash bags piled up everywhere, dirty dishes all over the place, furniture knocked over, and the worst room is the bathroom, where there's gross mold all full in the tub. And he, of course, has to reach into the tub through all this mold to pull out the stopper and drain the tub. Ugh, gross scene there. But then he goes upstairs, and the mold problem is worse up there, and yeah, no, it is disgusting. We get a flashback and find out this was all his younger brother's idea. They both had this teacher, and the older brother hated the teacher. The younger brother really liked him. And he says the teacher's house had a problem. I forget what it is. It caught fire or something. And he's out of a house for a while. His family needs a place to stay while they rebuild what should be less than a year. And hey, you have an empty house for a year. It's perfect. And they kind of, the guy shows up. They do an interview and he winds up begging for it. And it's like, I can't turn him down now. I have to be nice. And you get to see this guy and his family. They all look a little off. One of the dad's eyes is going off at a slightly different angle. The girl, the young daughter's face just looks a little bit too old. And they got a baby all wrapped up. And you never see that baby's face. Creepy little family without being over the top. But anyway, he feels obliged to give them the space. And the brother says, oh, I'll check up on him. Anyway, cut back to the present. He's trying to clean this place out, but the mold problem upstairs is getting worse and worse as the days go on, and he hasn't even been able to explore every room yet. The brother doesn't even want to go inside the house, and you think, well, he's been here this whole time. He knows something about what's going on. Come on, dude. Spill the beans. And of course, he's going to find something truly horrific as he works on getting this house back into shape. And it's going to be great. It's really a good classic Junji Ito visuals with all this grime. It's so nasty and off. And then we get this mystery as to what exactly happened to them. Both points working really well with each other. It's almost like, that scene in Alien where they go into the other ship. What happened here? What's all this stuff growing over here? I really did like it. And plus, yeah, the black and white atmosphere really works well here. Definitely recommend it. And I really can't wait till the original manga comes over here because this is one of those that left me going, I really want to read the source material for this one. Anyway, after that, Library Vision. Library Vision can be found in the Smashed collection. Really fun Junji Ito collection here. Library Vision, probably my favorite story from that collection. Anyway, we get this newlywed couple. She moves into his house, and the whole house is a massive library. That's cool. Library house is such a good concept. Books everywhere, and it adds a whole bunch of visual interest. And I know there's some poor background drawing guy at the animation department had to put in all these little books, and yeah, I'm glad he had computers because that probably made things easier, but it looks really, really nice, and I have to compliment a really cool set. But the guy feels the need to protect and count and make sure his father's library is pristine and everything's in its place, to the point where the wife takes out one of the books to read it, and the husband finds it missing and flips out, and he says, "You can read the books, but you have to tell me first. I can't have one of my books unaccounted for. Just tell me before you take a book." And we get to see he's overprotective. But anyway, he's out there, he's counting all the books, and he eventually does discover that 2 books are missing. His mother's favorite book and his father's favorite book. And he's obsessively searching for them when the books themselves, appearing in human form as the characters from the book, but also resembling his parents, show up as visions, hence the title, Library Vision. Well, it's good to see his mother, Renee of the Winter Wind, a calm spirit that he really likes visiting him. But his father's favorite book is one of the most terrifying books that he's ever read, and he does not want that book visiting him and has to figure out a way to vanquish the evil spirit. But vanquishing it won't be easy, and it will unintendedly lead him down the path to madness, and a really good epic over-the-top final scene. I really do like how this one has a really good big core concept, and then they push it with these ghost revelations, and then they push it even farther to the point where the ending is absolute madness, and it is really cool. Now, I do want to say, in the original comic, there is a bunch of narration from the wife, and that helps explain why the husband's so obsessive and why she puts up with it. She also reads his diary, and we do get a little bit of a flashback in the anime, but in the manga, a lot more of his diary is read, and you understand his past a lot more. But when you're reading a book, even normal prose book versus comic, you can get away with a lot more exposition, and it just feels like you're reading more of the story. Whenever you do movies and TV, exposition can wear out its welcome really quick, so I totally get why they cut this. But that being said, if you guys want more of this story and you want to understand why characters act certain ways, definitely read the manga for more of a story, more of the backstory behind this. And I do want to say they also did cut out a scene at the end with his wife that helps explain what happened to her at the end of the story, which I'm a little confused why they cut this out. I guess they wanted it to be more vague and mysterious, her actual fate. But they do definitely explain that more in the manga if you want to read that. But I do want to say I really did like this episode. Moody, atmospheric. A cool set for the library, but a cool concept for how the story plays out. Library visions. We definitely get those visions. And overall, I thought this was really cool. I was really glad to see it. The color, like I said, works out, being those warm orange and wood colors, and to actually see this set again, the nice library house. The whole house is a library. And overall, this is one of my favorite Junji Ito stories. I found it translates pretty well. Obviously, I would still recommend reading the original short story, but this is a good adaptation of it. But really, Junji Ito stories are really great. And I mean, I say this all the time. These books are like $22.99 or so, and they're about 400 or so pages. It's a pretty good value, and all of Junji Ito's stories, I mean, for the most part, they're really, really good. Anyway, though, this episode came out great. Probably one of my favorite of the series. I don't know if I'll do a ranking video or not, but definitely a good episode. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Junji Ito playlist. If you guys want to see the past episode reviews, should be in there, as well as me covering a lot of the books. I am working on trying to cover them all, so hopefully more of those will be there soon. You can also see my review of these Junji Ito Pocket Curses. That one right there is the Scar chapter in Glow in the Dark, which I was super lucky to be my first pull. That one is really cool. Anyway, if you guys want to see those, that'll be there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Junji Ito playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.